I don't think there was anything here major on early National Signing Day. We're still in the top 3 on Eric Ayu. Lichtensteiger, we're leading, but only in the top 5 stage. There's only going to be a couple more chances for us to really do anything with any of these guys. Not looking good on Kamani Hawkins here, the defensive end. Isaiah Bloom, we look fine, but look at the schools we're competing against. Clyde Burt, we're leading, and I'm surprised he hasn't committed yet. We're maxed out on that. However, we're only in the top 8 there, so he might hold on a little bit more. And if that happens, Michigan could very much sneak in there and get something else done on him. We're looking to have at least a much bigger class than we did a year ago. These guys here, the only chance we have on them is simply the fact that nobody else has given them an offer outside of Favre, who I only wanted because of his name anyway. So, well, in his final game with the CMU Chippewas, Noah Ziegler, who I suppose could have a chance to get drafted probably very late, wins MAC Defensive Player of the Week for the Quick Lane Bowl. For the second straight year, we do have a kicker commit. Eric Ayu, we always kind of figured that he was going to come in. We'll see if he's any better than the guy we got in year 1. But just nice to have options. Maybe one of these days we'll find a gem. Players leaving for the CMU Chippewas. Uh-oh! Darius Taylor wants to leave, but not for the NFL. Wants to leave because he doesn't like our playing style. Oh, no! This is very, very bad. The only thing we can try and do is persuade him. If we lose the only productive member of our offense, next season is going to blow, man. Chance to persuade him is low. Oh, fuck. We're going to have to come up hot in the transfer portal yet again because it's gone from bad to worse. Darius Taylor is gone. We're going to try and persuade all these guys. That doesn't go. Quincy Cumberland, I don't even really care, but... Oh, pfft. Naturally! Naturally, that happens. And Romeo Book's persuasion chance is high. And yet he doesn't come back. Ah! You lost half a star? Yeah, we kind of expected. We thought we were going back to 1.5 stars. So, transfer portal and off-season recruiting. I do believe, is it National Signing Day, or we already passed that? We got a deal breaker with Lichtensteiger, but we have such a lead, I'm going to leave him on the board. Hawkins is committed to Wisconsin. We have some hours here, so we can put in some work on Clyde Burt and just hope for the best. We have so many hours. But we do also have to pay attention to the transfer portal, so I'm not going to waste hours scouting at the moment. Big lead on Antoine Jr. Big lead on Parms. Florida State is in on Robert Hurt. We're going to want to get some action in on him. But we're also going to want to go to the transfer portal before we get in here too far. So with the loss of Darius Taylor... Dude, we got deal breakers and we're locked out on every single transfer? Oh my. I mean, we've got a quarterback we can go after. Junior transfer out of Muskegon. Trying to transfer out of Western Michigan. Michigan State's in on him. Purdue. I don't think we need to do anything with that. Wide receivers. We're locked out on all these guys. Did we wait too long on this or something? I have no idea. Just for some bodies, let's add these two offensive tackles in here to try and get something going. put some bodies out there. We're probably gonna add guys to the transfer portal, to our transfer portal list. Just any position of need, just any fucking players we can get. We are still climbing in drop frames in a bad way. Hopefully that settles itself out here in a minute. It still hasn't. We disconnect, just trust. I will be back. We're still climbing in a bad way though. Okay, we're just gonna take a break and hope it figures itself out. That's so fucking annoying. I'm so over this. Every goddamn day. 9,000? We were at like 3,000 a minute ago. My internet provider is just embarrassing at this rate. And then we'll go a month and not have any issues, and then it'll go all wrong again. Anyway, I guess back to it. Completely fucking derailed, as always. I don't know if anyone else gets like that. Like, there is just... I always get so frustrated when, like, shit that you pay for just doesn't work. Like... Internet bills are way too fucking expensive to just be so unreliable and be the only option in your entire area. It's ridiculous. Alright, so we're gonna go to the bottom of the board here. We want to find our transfers. Wait, we actually never offered scholarships to any of these guys? What the fuck are we doing? I mean, I know we were limited on hours, but shit, just offering scholarships to these guys could go a long way. What offensive scheme do we run? I have no idea. We'll have to go take a look at that here in a second. Grubb was a 1-star, so was Treggs. Campbell, Pointer, Brown. There was not a single 4-star that we can even try and go after in the transfer portal this year. We got really lucky here in year 1. It's not so much the case here in year 2. So now that the scholarships are done, I mean, I feel like our best hope is focusing on the guys that we are way behind on, because we're going to be really close to the end of the commitment stage anyway. I mean, scheduling a visit on a bye? What's the point? Isaiah Bloom, 3-star defensive end. Let's throw some hours in on that. Clyde Burt, we were really close on. There's just nothing else we can do. So we're just kind of screwed if Michigan goes all in on him. We're kind of all set right now on Antoine Jr. No real reason to do too much. We'll throw a little bit of points at him just to see if that can push us over the top. Dion Parms. Nothing major happening with him anywhere. I think this is where we get into the transfer portal, guys. Maybe? Possibly? No, actually, Bernard Cheeks was just a very late addition to the board. I forgot. Late stages of his recruiting. But it's another scrambler, though. So we just keep recruiting the wrong type of quarterback. I'm not really super worried about him because we do have Jaden Kegler. We just offered scholarships on these guys, and for a lot of them, actually, not so much anymore. For some of them, we are their only offer. Now, this is where the transfer portal guys start. 2-star right tackle in Jack Hines. The only one that's given him an offer. Little work on most of these guys. Davies has major interest from Memphis, which is a bit of a problem. But again, it's a 2-star. Grubb and Tregs, I'm just going to get off of here entirely. And hope that we're going to be okay. Still pretty early here on Nick Campbell. 3-star defensive tackle. Is chat not working? No, it's working, as far as I know. Nick Campbell, one of the few 3-stars that we're actually going to be able to go after. So we're going to send the house on him. We've already sent him a scholarship. Martez Pointer. Don't need to do so much. Brown has interest from Penn State. Let's get in there. Another 3-star linebacker. Send the house at him. Bretton Cox, not super worried. We have better cornerback targets to go after. We're going to want to send the house on Antonio Rager. And potentially even Carroll. We're getting down there on hours, but only a couple more guys that we have to worry about. Ryan Grooms, 3-star safety. We can send the house on one of these guys. Davis has interest from Northwestern. Grooms has interest from Penn State. Points are probably going to be more suited to go to Grooms. And then we will spend some points here on Davis. Contact the friends and family and search the social media. We'll do that. Week 2 of 4 of the off-season recruiting stage. Got a good chunk of guys signed. We're leading on a lot of guys. We only have 70 hours to work with, though, so we're going to have to use that wisely. We're locked out on FAR, if we can just forget that. We're behind on Pointer. So we're going to try and soft sell. We'll try this. And then we're also going to go up and search the social media on Martez Pointer. 2-star, but at the same time... Oh, we might be boned on Caden Brown. There is more work that we can do. Not much. Leading here on Allegero. Not leading on Rager, but there's nothing else we can do. Carroll, we lead. Grooms, we lead. Rose, all of a sudden, we're behind. I think that's East Carolina. I'm going to soft sell him. The only problem is we only know one interest, so this is going to be a bit of a shot in the dark. It's not super essential, especially if you get Grooms, that we get Eric Rose here. Oh, I did the wrong thing. Wait, did we not... were we not able to soft sell? What happened? Alright, well, I guess we will find someone we can search the social media of. Can't do it on Grooms. I guess we'll just do it on Allegero here. We may have to run a spread. We may have to do a playbook change to get something going here. Well, no commitments after week 2 is a little bit of a scare. Michigan State has come out of nowhere on Bloom. We're kind of dead in the water when it comes to that. We still lead on Clyde Burt. Still lead on Antoine Jr. and Dion Parms and Robert Hurt and Bernard Cheeks. And Marcus Sledge, albeit very slightly. Braden Kellogg was at 2-star free safety. I think we can just remove him. I think we're in a good shot to at least land one of the transfers. Can't do anything with Nick Campbell. We're locked out on Martez Pointer, unfortunately. Caden Brown, Ohio State, has come out of nowhere to lead that one. Leading on Algiero. Leading on Antonio Ragers. That's good. Leading on Carroll. There's actually not much we're going to be able to do here. So we're just going to DM Eric Rose. Try and find another place to spend 25 points. Jack Hines. 2-star right tackle, Jack Hines. We've got 40 points. I mean, do we? That's stupid. We don't need to hard sell him. They actually haven't really done much of any work on Bernard Cheeks, so we're just gonna do this, and maybe that'll swim. Maybe we'll get Cheeks in at quarterback. All right, Christian Algiero out of Connecticut, middle linebacker commit. Do believe that's out of the transfer portal, so it's not gonna be a transfer portal like it was a year ago, but we just need bodies right now, and especially with the loss of Darius Taylor, it's going to be a real rough season, I think, in year 3 regardless. Final week of off-season recruiting. We do have 150 hours to spend. We're locked out on Caden Brown. We kind of figured that was going to happen. We can't do anything else on Nick Campbell. We're probably going to be screwed there. There are some points we can spend on Jack Hines. Probably just focus on players that we can spend points on. Believe we're approaching National Signing Day. Jack Hines, 2-star right tackle, has committed to CMU. Should have a good few of them here, you would think. 2-star right tackle Jake Davies as well. 2-star running back Matt Herring. Ooh, unfortunately, that is it. So it is National Signing Day. We got a bigger class than a year ago. Bloom goes to Michigan State. Campbell goes to Florida State. Rager out of nowhere does indeed go. I think that's... Is that Georgia State? Georgia Southern? I have no idea. That's unfortunate. Carroll goes to Louisville. Eric Rose to Eastern Carolina. That was always going to happen, and we lose another recruit to Louisville in Davis there. All right, training results. Let's see what the 2026 CMU Chippewas are going to look like, and we have an 81 overall team. We didn't take that bad of a step back from what I thought we were going to. Bryce Rowe, redshirt sophomore, up to an 86 overall. He's our best player. Langston Lewis, redshirt senior at 83 overall with 89 speed. Quarterbacks. Tyler Jefferson actually took a big jump up. And he's an improviser, not a scrambler like Bert Emanuel. But he's got at least capable speed at the quarterback position. Running back is where we are in a big world of hurt when it comes to year 3. Brock Townsend is going to have to be our lead guy after having probably our best player on the team each of the first 2 seasons be at the halfback position. Holy David McAllister. Does he have star development? No, he is normal. How the fuck did he get up to 71 overall? For a fullback, we'll take that. Receivers, oh boy, not good. Langston Lewis, Javorian Wimberly, Ty Newkirk, Jordan Kelly, Josiah Booker. We're in big trouble there. Enrique Beckham only gained 1 overall from year 1 to year 2. He's actually, he apparently redshirted. I didn't really realize that. Redshirt freshman. Okay, so that's good news. So we could have him for 4 more years if he makes it that long. But I do believe Beckham has star development, and he does. So we'll see how that goes in the seasons to come, hopefully. Enrique Beckham turns into that dude. Apparently we have no left tackles. That's outstanding. The good news is that we do have 4 right tackles. So then when it comes to the defense, Quincy Cumberland is an 81 overall, redshirt sophomore. Player that we can grow, hopefully, a little bit. DeMarcus McLeod, redshirt sophomore, nothing special. Defensive tackle is a big hole. We only have 2 on the roster. Left outside linebacker is rough. Middle linebacker, Kari Johnson, could be a player for us. Rashard Blake at right outside linebacker at 78 overall. Linebackers are taking a big hit. Bryce Rowe, Alex Henry handling the cornerback position. Tyson Campbell at 78. Jeremiah Alston Jackson, redshirt junior. gonna handle the strong safety positions. We got one kicker, one punter on the roster, and they are both cheeks. All right, this year for custom schedules, we're gonna want to make sure that we actually pay attention to everything. It's just nothing but MAC play once we reach week 6 here. New Mexico State, who finished last year 7-6. Arizona, who was 6-7. Wyoming, who was 5-7. And then we do have a test at number 4, Miami. I don't mind scheduling like one really tough game for us on the year. Because if we get an upset, that could do a world for us. World of difference. So, I guess we can sit with Miami unless we want to go for a different top opponent. Play like Alabama. Baylor, Auburn. Notre Dame is somehow not ranked. Number 2, Tennessee. Number 10, Tulane. Number 1, Texas A&M. You know what? I think we just stick with Miami. We're going to go with any state here. I mean, if we could somehow try to find a way to land a 4-star quarterback, especially like an actual true pocket passer with an arm, that could do wonders for us. So, a guy like Connor Holton here wouldn't be bad. We've got an improviser in Patrick Kuhn, scrambler in Billy Rossi. We already have a scrambler on the roster. I'm not super worried about that. Jimmy Bernstein, Sammy Moffitt, George Dial looks like he's 30 years old. And then we get into the 3-star guys. I'm not going to really mess around with the 3-star quarterbacks too much. Just because we already have a couple. So we don't need any more. Recruiting a star running back is going to be a big need for us. And I'm kind of looking at this guy just because of his name. Pat Takeoff. Well, hopefully that means he's fast. So we're going to add him to our board. Jamal Gibbs, Travis Ivey, Lamar Roche. After what we just saw out of a Roche in North Carolina, I don't think we can justify bringing in another Roche. Now we get into the 3-stars. So once again, I want to just take some shots at some skill position guys and the quarterback of 4-star. We've gotten a couple 4-star recruits so far in this dynasty, so it's not impossible. So I see 3 stars is about all that happens for fullbacks. We're kind of set on fullback for now. Now, we don't need to go after any 5-star receivers, but I think this is just going to be the year where we get a little bit aggressive when it comes to recruiting 4-stars. Floyd Leonard, Corey Lord. I like our chances with Floyd Leonard because his deal breaker is proximity to home, and he's from Fort Wayne, Indiana. So, Floyd Leonard, we'll add him to the board. And now we also can't forget that we do need our 3 stars as well. Wide receiver isn't really listed as a need, though, so we're just going to skip that. Tight end is listed as a need. We do have Enrique Beckham, so I'm not super worried. And he's actually not even number 1 on the depth chart right now, so, or at least number 1 in overall. So it's not imperative that we land one. Miles Biggums. And another 3-star to the board just because. Offensive line. Maybe a 4-star in the right spot. Bernie Calvin out of Illinois. That seems like a good one to go after. And then we'll also shoot for a 3-star. Ooh, we'll actually go with Ron Molds here Add him to the board from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Should have a decent chance at him. Offensive guard also listed as a need. We've got a 4-star that's in-state here from Canton. We'll add him. And then the same sort of strategy. We'll also add a 3-star. We've got Devin Ham out of Bloomfield Hills. So add him to the board, even though MSU has already offered him. That's not going to be great for us. Is there another one? Nicholas Cahill's already got offers from MSU and Central. Any other 3-stars from Michigan? No. Just a 2-star. Center not listed as a need, so we'll skip that. Defensive end is a need. Matt Michaels. Ooh, he's got some big boy offers in there. Throw him in. And then Carlos Crisp. That is just too good of a name. We're right at his deal breaker. He's got an offer from Georgia Tech, interest from Georgia, or at least influence, but no offer yet. So Carlos Crisp, we're going to add him to the board just as a shot-in-the-dark type player. And let's find a 3-star, Ron Shabazz, Denario Bunting. This guy's already got offers from Michigan State and Louisville. Try and get in on Ron Shabazz. Defensive tackle, also a need for the CMU Chippewas here in the recruiting cycle in year 3. Not really liking what we've got here. We got a 3-star in Joey Levine with an offer from Iowa. Were there any guys up here on the board, actually? Dave Hendricks. Ooh, he's been offered by Michigan and Michigan State. I don't like our chances on this, but we're going to see what we can do. Outside linebacker, guess what? A need. You wouldn't think our defense is actually the strength of this team with all of the needs that we have on it, but I think that just means we got a lot of outgoing guys. Deal breaker here with Ty Cook. The only offer he's got is from Kentucky. I feel like we could compete with that. Ty Cook added to the board. And then maybe a 3-star here somewhere. One that makes sense. Pat Denson. Perfect. Eee. Don't like our chances on that. Don't really like our chances here either. Trevor Graves is actually listed as an athlete, but is in here on the linebacker screen. Eef. I don't know about that. This is a little bit more risky. We're right at his deal breaker. Johnny Matlock, 4-star middle linebacker. Offers that scare me. Auburn and Ole Miss. Couple of SEC schools, especially with him being from Mississippi. That's a little suspect, but we're going to give it a go. Trevor Fellows only has an offer from UMass, so we'll throw him in there. Corner, not going to be going after any 5-star corners, but we do have, look at this actually. Offer from MSU on Daryl Sermon, but we're third on his board, and we haven't even done anything yet. So, like our chances on that. Let's take a shot. Now, how would you pronounce this name? Castle or Castilli? I don't know. It confuses me. We're going to move on from him. Ninth on Devin Revis. Oh, offers from Notre Dame, though. Here we go. Randy Sahara. Offers from MSU and Indiana, but might have a chance. All right, safeties, also a need. Who would have thought? Wade Meeks. 4-star from New Jersey. Offers from Syracuse and Pitt. We'll see if we can get in on that. He likes our playing style, so that could be really good news for us. And then we'll add in a 3-star in Telvin Flanagan. Right at his deal breaker in coach prestige. Already been offered by MSU, which is a little scary. But we'll add him to the board. Strong safety, another need. Hey, Cesar Emmanuel II. Got a bunch of offers already. But he is interested in us, despite being from Illinois. See if we can get in on him. Frank Abraham. Offers from Iowa, and I think that's Mizzou. 3-star strong safety. Add him to the board. And one more, if I can find a 3-star from our state, we can't. Brandon Chestnut would be an elite name for a kicker. Tony Cox. Keyshawn Flavors. I feel like the kicker, we just always go for the funny names, right? And the funniest name here might be Tony Cox. Cox or Chestnut, I can't decide. So I'm going to add them both. And we're already 2 seasons down on our... Actually, only 1 season down on our first ever punter recruit, Carl Choice. So we've got 26 guys on our board to start recruiting. And we're going to want to offer scholarships on every single one of them. So we're going to be here for a second. Now, a normal person would just scout them first. But we don't have a lot of hours to spend, so... We need to take the risk of them potentially being a bust, I think. And just spend as many points as we possibly can trying to get them to come to this school. Because it's not exactly easy to recruit talent to Central Michigan. I feel like this aggressiveness when it comes to adding a whole bunch of 4-stars to our board is either going to go... Like, I feel like there's just no in-between. It's going to go really good or really bad. Just don't know if we're there yet, especially because I think our team lost about a half a star in prestige from year 1, or year 2 to year 3. Alright, so that's done. And we didn't really pick a lot of guys that we're already high up on the board with. So we're going to want to be very, very patient and very, very diligent on what... Not really patient. I feel like we need to go all out on some of these guys that we know we want and or need. Connor Holton. So I want to set this up in a way that we can eventually soft sell him. So we got to do a little bit of math here. Soft sell, I do believe, costs 20. Hard sell's 40. But it might also be 30. And I can't really tell yet. So what we're going to do... Actually, we can just do this and that. Just to try and get something going here on Connor Holton. And then leave ourselves a gap to the point that if we can soft sell him later... Oh, right, Sway's the one that's 30. So we actually might be able to sway him later on. We'll see what happens there. Running back is also another very important position for us to recruit. We are hurting real bad after the loss of Darius Taylor in the transfer portal. So, same deal. This is a player we really want. So we're going to set ourselves up to soft sell or sway later on. I think right now, we spend these points on these guys that are 4 stars that have some big-time interest from bigger schools, just to try and get something, some sort of base on them, and get some early interest. Now, we only get 50 hours on Matt Michaels, so that's not great. So what we're going to do is we're going to be a little bit more conservative on him, save ourselves some hours for later on. Hopefully. Only 50 hours on Carlos Crisp as well. I actually think we're going to have to be pretty aggressive on Crisp, especially with him being from Marietta, Georgia. We're just going to send the house straight away on Carlos Crisp. 115 hours left to work with. We're 7th on the board for Ron Shabazz. Some slight early action. Joey Levine only offers from Iowa. Gonna do the same sort of deal. 85 hours left. We're actually going to get a good chunk of action in on a lot of these guys. Hendricks is going to be another one that is going to be really tricky. And we're kind of throwing it all at him right now. Oh, unfortunately, if we send the house. But with these guys that we can only spend 50 hours on, it just kind of forces your hand a little bit, because a visit is already 40, and if you even want to make it to the stage where you can schedule a visit, I feel like you need to do something else. But I don't know. We're just gonna get the maximum amount of points in. I don't think, especially because if you send the house on a player, the maximum influence is already at its max, so you're just doing whatever you can. Ty Crook had the offer from Kentucky, and we can spend 65 points on him. So slightly more aggressive, and that's actually all we're going to be doing here in the week 0 recruiting. We're only going to get halfway down our recruiting board. Hopefully that doesn't mean that we lose out on these guys. Hopefully they stick around a little bit. 145 hours. We're already locked out on Matt Michaels. I'm not really sure. Oh, we're not. We're just not in his top 8. We didn't make it in there, so we can forget that straight away. We're locked out on Matlock, so forget him. That was just a risk that we took with half of these guys we couldn't do anything with. We're actually first on the board for Pat Denson, although that was a 3-star. 65 hours available to spend, so we will start off with that. First on the board here for Trevor Fellows, and he's actually really interested in us, but his only other offer is from UMass, so take that with a grain of salt. Sermon, only 50 hours available. Little unfortunate, however, at least he's from... Whoops, messed up that there. At least he's from Michigan, so we're already high up on his board just because we've given him an offer. Sahara was the 3-star corner. Only 50 hours available. There we go. Wade Meeks. He was from New Jersey. We did jump up to 3rd on his board without even doing anything with him, so that's a little bit surprising. Just hoping to make that top 3 and maybe schedule a visit or do something later on. Who knows? Telvin Flanagan, 2nd on his board, another Michigander. Just trying to be a lot more strategic with our points this year. We're locked out on Frank Abraham, but he was a 3-star. That is what it is. We're not locked out when it comes to Cesar Emmanuel. However, we're very, very low on his board. So, little stuff like this, I don't know if it's going to be enough, but we can hope. I think we're the only team that's offered Brandon Chestnut so far. Oh, and we're actually out of hours, so we'll have to wait for the kickers and the punters until next week. 38-27 loss to New Mexico State to start the season. And with the non-conference schedule that we have, I mean, at least we face Arizona at home, but that's going to be tough. Who knows about Wyoming? They played in week 0. They already played a conference game. Then we're going to get our doors blasted off by Miami, so it might not be very good here in non-conference play. But once again, at this stage, with us just starting to get aggressive when it comes to recruiting, we care about MAC play. We want to win the MAC championship and see where that gets us. Into recruiting, we've only got 50 hours to work with. Uh-oh. We're locked out on Leonard. Didn't make his top 8. Locked out on Calvin. We actually just missed his top 5. So a couple of 4-stars already off the board. Levine has locked us out. We didn't even make his... We actually apparently didn't do anything on him. We're first on a good chunk of guys here. In good shape to at least make their top whatever. Good there. We're going to have to do something on Emmanuel. Because we want to at least try and make that top 5, top 3. So we're going to probably have to say that this is our last chance. I don't know if we're going to be able to wait. I mean, I guess we're 5th, so as long as he doesn't go straight down to his top 3, we're still okay. So now we get into the kickers. Nobody else has offered Brandon Chestnut yet. We can spend 35 hours. That only leaves us with 15. No offers on any of these guys. We'll go with the punter. We'll spend these 15 hours on the punter, Carl Choice. How bad did it go? Lost pretty bad, but like I said the week prior, non-conference just doesn't look like it's going to shape up very well for us. We go up against Wyoming next. Who knows what's happening with them? We'll see if we can at least earn one non-conference win before we get ass blasted by Miami. Well, we lost to Wyoming, only by 8, I suppose, but they're 3-1, 2-0 in their conference, so I don't know. Good team. We did jump up to an 81 overall offense, so an 81 overall team, though, so progress, I guess. Now to get clobbered. You know, going up against what was the number 4 team in the country, I was expecting worse. I was really expecting worse. 35-13 loss to the U. Recruiting in our bye week, we at least have 70 offers in, or 70 hours to work with here. Pat Takeoff has already committed to Penn State, so we have missed out on a good chunk of those 4-stars that we tried to get here. Everyone else we still have a chance at for the moment. So, leading on McGinnis, although very, very slightly. Ron Molds, apparently we didn't touch him either. He's got an offer from Buffalo. Not very worried. But we will do something. Just to kind of keep him thinking about us. Devin Ham has not received an offer from MSU yet. 25 hours with him leaves us 30. Carlos Crisp. Oh, still the only other offer he got is from Georgia Tech, and that is a 4-star that we would like to have. However, we've spent up our hours that we can use on Crisp, so we're in a bit of a rough spot there. No panic on Ron Shabazz. Only some slight panic on Dave Hendricks, especially because we've already done what we can. Top 3 here on Ty Crook. We have 30 hours to spend. I think it's time that we try and sway 4-star outside linebacker Ty Crook. Gotta hit all 3 of those. There's just no other way. The only problem is the pro potential isn't great. And I've actually been, I feel like, looking at this wrong. I don't know if we should do that or if we should focus on some things that we do well. But for the moment, I'm going to focus on the proximity to home Pro potential's interesting, but I don't know. I feel like it's our only chance. Verbally committed to Michigan State. 4-star right guard. We lose out on yet another 4-star. And Ty Crook has committed to Kentucky. Had offers from Kentucky, ourselves, and Notre Dame. So another 4-star lost. We have really missed out on just about every prospect that we possibly could have tried. So now, as our recruiting is kind of falling apart, we kind of have to refocus and head into the 3-stars. We've got to focus on those. This Clay Moffitt is, I guess, not a bad idea. Receiving back. We can't be settling for 2 stars. Shaquille Combs. Wait, we got a white guy named Shaquille? Are there any others from... Let's just focus on the recommended now. It's certainly recommending a lot of 2 stars. A couple of these guys are listed as athletes. Alright, we're going to target Channing Kozar at the running back position. Recommended receivers. There's some 3-stars that we might have a chance at. David Tubbs. Jesus Ferraro. We'll chill with that for now. Tight ends, we've already targeted McGinnis. John Hamm. Rashawn Rashid. 3-star out of Ohio with an offer from Cincinnati. Anyway. Offensive tackle is also a need. Kevin Clapp. Very good name. Oh, so we've already targeted Molds. All right. Let's also target Clapp. Just need to head into guys that we might have a chance at. Already trying to address right guard. Didn't need a center. Defensive end. Actually don't need to target anybody else when it comes to defensive ends. We're in the top 3 for the moment on Carlos Crisp. However, I feel like Georgia Tech's going to do something to jump us. I guess at the worst place, we got Ron Shabazz. Worst case scenario, we got Shabazz. Game wants us to target Westbrook here. Hell with it. Why not? 22 targets out of a possible 35. D'Angelo Davis. Romeo Boone. Offers from a couple of Big Ten teams, so our chances aren't great, but we'll see what we can do. Looking really good on 3-star Trevor Fellows. But we could try and scoop in and steal a player potentially from a MAC school in Miles Long. With our 65 whole hours that we have to work with. Alright. Behind on 4-star Daryl Sermon. Actually behind MSU on both of the corners we targeted. Sermon and Sahara. Well, we might have to settle for the guy whose name is going to stump me surely. And I really don't want to try and even waste time trying to recruit 2 stars. We really shouldn't have to do anything. Currently leading on 4-star free safety Wade Meeks, but he's only in his top 8. We do lead for the moment, but can't be by much. And then I think we also have another safety target. Yes, Flanagan. We're behind on MSU on this guy, too. I can't escape the damn Spartans, man. We're just barely inside the top 5 when it comes to Cesar Emmanuel. Not looking very good when it comes to that. There is another 4-star here. He's got an offer from Notre Dame, though. That can't go very well for us. Like Greg Slater to the board. And then kickers we just aren't going to worry about too much. So time to offer some scholarships. It's going to use up a good chunk of the hours that we have. We might not be able to do anything else outside of offer scholarships. Already 50 hours. 40 hours. All of our time this week is offering scholarships to guys we're already probably going to be behind on, but some of these guys might not have offers already, so we've got that going for us. 15 hours. How are we on the punter? Okay, what about either of the kickers? Haven't done anything when it comes to Tony Cox, so we'll spend 15 hours on him. Oh, so much for the Fat L. We win our MAC opener, but we did that last year too, 21-10 over 2-3 in Northern Illinois, CMU's first win of 2026. Leading on Lane McGinnis, tight end. We're in his top 5. We've got 80 hours to work with. We're really going to want to use these smart as we can. Not looking very good on Carlos Crisp. He's got a visit scheduled, and we don't have any points to spend on him. A little bit screwed. But we lead on Ron Shabazz, so there's that. We're probably going to lose Dave Hendricks to MSU next week. In the top 3, and only just slightly away from a commitment from Pat Denson, 3-star right outside linebacker. So let's go and try and earn our first commitment of the season. So 60 hours left to go. We're top 3 on fellows. I feel like there's going to be more useful places to spend these. 60 hours. We've got 35 to spend on Daryl Sermon. Just to try and do something. I mean, we're pretty good for the top 3 right now. We could actually wait a little bit. So what we might do is try and, I mean, we're going to schedule a visit for the Bowling Green game. Because that at least gives us a... I mean, that's a lot to spend, though. And it's only... I don't know the scale of just the little pluses for the increase. I don't know if that's it has a bigger impact of just doing something like this. And we actually have no idea what his motivations are, so... I mean, if we get in on this now, we have a chance to jump MSU. I mean, we can't do it. We can't do it that way, though. Let's schedule a visit just so we stay in here. And just hope the fuck that we beat Bowling Green in Week 10. All right, we don't know any of that either. Okay, well, then we're just gonna do this. That works, I guess. All right, we're locked out on Randy Sahara. 3 stars committed to MSU. We're just flat out locked out on Cesar Emmanuel. We didn't make his top 3. Leading on the kicker in Chestnut. Let's just do something when it comes to Channing Kozar. That 3-star athlete that I think I wanted to maybe put it... Yeah, put it running back. Let's see where that gets us. Nobody else has given him an offer yet, so the fact that he'll get one hopefully puts us to the top of the board, at least for now. We do indeed have our first commit. We kind of figured that was going to be the case. Pat Denson out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, right outside linebacker, is here. Thank the heavens that we finally have a recruit. It only took until MAC play. Oh, and we follow it up with another one, and yet another linebacker, Trevor Fellows, and that's an out-of-state recruit out of Massachusetts, so, hey, I feel like we're making progress here. Narrow a 2-point loss to the Toledo Rockets. CMU drops to 1-5, 1-1 in the MAC Conference. Or I guess if you call it the MAC Conference, doesn't that, you'd be saying the Mid-American Conference? Ahead of our game with Ohio, we're back to the board, and we have a good chunk of hours to spend, which is really, really huge. 3-star right guard in Devin Ham. Let's see if we can try. Actually, we can hard sell him. I'm not sure if that's really our best move, but we're gonna give it a go. However, I don't think I'm seeing something that hits all of those interests. Oh, there it is. All right. We'll do that. Max out our hours that we can spend on Devin Ham. Right guard's a big need. Offensive line in general is a massive need. We can forget about Carlos Crisp, unfortunately. Still leading on Ron Shabazz. Hasn't even gone to his top 3. Not really worried when it comes to Shabazz. 4-star Dave Hendricks not coming. There's our 2 commits. Now we've got Sermon. And unfortunately, the way that we have this set up, we can't do anything else when it comes to Daryl Sermon. That's unfortunate. Probably going to lose yet another recruit to MSU. We're in a good spot on Wade Meeks. I feel like we could force the issue here just a little bit. Wait, that's a 4-star. I didn't even realize, and he doesn't even have an offer yet. Now, the only bad thing is that there's nothing else we're going to be able to do when it comes to Meeks. Somebody could certainly snipe us late. Flanagan. I feel like this is just our only chance. Well, we actually can't even do that. We're going to have to try and sway him. So, yep, there we go. A B-, an A+, and a C in conference prestige, but it's worth a chance. Is there any... Did we get the... Yeah, we got the 5.1, so that's going to be all we're going to be able to do with Flanagan. No competition on the kicker, Brandon Chestnut. I feel like there's just not a lot of competition with kickers or punters in general. Pretty much get, I think, whoever we want. We did jump up to the top of the board on Channing Kozar. I have high hopes for this one. We can't sway him yet. He hasn't even named his top 8. So we're just kind of floating there. We're going to want to wait a little bit when it comes to that. Now, the only problem is the interest is proximity to home, which is not good. Not good at all. Just going to have to hope for the best. Or maybe we just, I don't know, maybe we soft sell him. Maybe do something, just something a little different. But we only have 30 hours to spend on him. Tubbs. We haven't done anything on Tubbs yet. And he's still very early on in the phase. I don't often scout players. I want to scout him to see if we can get a clue. Yeah. That's actually all I wanted to see. I wanted to see his speed, and that gets revealed right away at 91. That's good enough for me. Set ourselves up to potentially sway him later. We'll do that. 50 hours left. We haven't done anything on Ferraro. We're locked out on Rashid, so we'll get him off the board. We're going to probably want to add a couple more players here this week or maybe next. Then when it comes to Ferraro, haven't done anything with him either. And receiver is just such a... It's been such a lack of a focus that we definitely want to at least get some players in here. Now, it's not looking good when it comes to Kevin Clapp because MSU's in on him too. Only 15 hours left. We'll spend them all on Clapp and hope to lead on him. So bouncing back from our loss to the Toledo Rockets with a 4-point win over the Ohio Bobcats. Winning record in MAC play. Good. Hopefully we can do enough here in the MAC. Oh my God, though. Dude, Buffalo's 6-1 with a 3-0 conference record, and we have to go to Buffalo, New York. Oh, shit. Dude, I fucking knew we were on to something. Lamar Chocolatey, now in his sophomore season at the University of Buffalo, was a guy that we wanted back in year one. Couldn't get. We struggled with FCS Midwest, and then he immediately committed to Buffalo. I mean, he's not star or anything, but he's at least impact development. We were on to something when it came to Lamar Chocolatey. So, hello, old friend. Locked out on Slater. Didn't make his top 8. We only have 20 targets now, and there's a good chunk of guys that we're going to lose out on. Haven't done anything on outside linebacker Romeo Boone. Although we did just get a couple of linebacker commits, so not super worried. We haven't done anything on Westbrook. However, we are leading in the very, very early stages, so you know what we're going to do? Oh, wait, we can't. We only have 10 hours. Alright, where are we going to spend these 10 hours? The only problem is... there's one. Devin Ham. We're in his top 3. We're actually fairly close on him, so this is going to work out perfect. Devin Ham. Just going to DM him. Wait, what? Oh, we've maxed out our hours. Oh, no. Well, what can we do? I guess we'll just DM Matthew Castle. It's not what I want to do, but I don't want to waste the hours. Well, damn, that must have been a good DM. Devin Ham immediately commits to the Central Michigan Chippewas, so that's our 3rd member of this current recruiting class. Right guard out of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Eat shit, Lamar Chocolatey. 42-34 win. Lamar Chocolatey's defense crumbles at the hands of the CMU Chippewas. Ooh, 150 hours. Hopefully a big week for us. Now, we could get in on Lane McGinnis. That 3-star tight end. Especially with the surplus of hours that it seems like we have. Now, none of these focuses are really all that great. However, we're going to do something. Wait, what? Gonna do something on him. Hopefully that works. Molds, he's got a visit with, is that USF? Okay. Now, we were good on Molds for a long time, but not so much anymore. We actually can send the house, I do believe. We're gonna max him out and hopefully earn yet another commit. Although he's not in his top 3 yet. I don't know if they have to, I don't think they have to narrow it down to a top 3 necessarily. So there's a good chance we might just get Molds on board right away. Ham's already on. Ron Shabazz has big time interest from MSU. The only problem is we're gonna have to try and sway him. Sway him on proximity to home, though, and that's an A+ grade, so that should be good for us. Sermon committed to MSU. Flanagan committed to Michigan State. 50 hours left. Syracuse is in on Wade Meeks. I don't think there's anything else I can do here. No, not with only 10 hours I can spend on the guy. So we're just kind of screwed for the moment. We're going to have to hope that Syracuse just forgets about him. Leading on Chestnut, and we're in the top 3. Not really worried about that. Iowa and Michigan are here, and they haven't even offered him yet. Haven't done anything. Leading on Tony Cox. Once again, the only offer. Once again, the kickers and the punters. There's just not really any competition. Channing Kozar. We could try and sway him. However, it's going to have to be something like this. Now, swaying him on proximity to home is a stupid idea. coach stability as well, which we have a grade of D on. We haven't been here long enough. Athletic facilities might be our only chance on a sway. Is there anything I can spend on him? No, not really. Well, we're just going to have to hope for the best when it comes to this. Hopefully he really likes CMU's athletic facilities. 20 hours left. Really early lead on David Tubbs. And he's so early on, we can't do anything else. Ferraro, also a very early lead, but we are way up on Jesus Ferraro. Kevin Clapp. Only 20 hours to spend. We can try and soft sell him, and I think that's going to have to be the goal. We're going to want to find 2 interests and a question mark. But the best possible question mark. I like focusing on the athletic facilities more so than academic prestige, so we're going to go with that. And that's our recruiting for the week. Lane McGinnis, 3-star tight end out of Alabama, has indeed committed to the Central Michigan Chippewas. Good. We like tight ends. Ooh, pretty rough loss to Bowling Green. They appear to be destined pretty much for the MAC championship. Now I don't know if we have much of a chance. Currently sitting 6th in the MAC, and I think we got divisions here, yes? Or is it just the 2 best teams? I mean, if it's just conference play, I mean, we've got a shot, especially because we do face Ball State here fairly soon. So if we win this game, at least I think we play Ball State. Oh, it's Ball State this week. There we go. Ball State is balls. 55 hours to work with, and we've been jumped on Ron Shabazz by guess fucking who? Michigan State. Our in-state recruiting has not been very good this year. We've actually been better out of state, so it seems, because we're losing. We haven't even lost anybody to Michigan. We haven't lost anybody to anything else. MSU. Nothing but MSU. Now, not a lot of panic here in a lot of these guys. Outside of Kevin Clapp. One last little sway here on Clapp to do something to try and not lose yet another recruit to the Michigan State Spartans. However, we're going to have to kind of find an interest or a non-interest that we're maybe good in. I don't mind this. Oh, I can't use that. Well, that's not good. So is there anything? Conference prestige. Sure. It works. Westbrook, we lead. We're still the only offer. Is there anybody we only have 18 targets on the board as well. I said we should add some more. We're going to do that now. It's really focusing on offensive line. You know, I looked at this Carlos body before, just because of the name. Add him to the board. Add a safety. Add an athlete. And add a right guard. Sure. All right, back to the recruiting trail. I only just realized that Kuti is only a 2-star. But you know what? That's fine. All of these guys that we only just added to the board are only 2 stars. Well, oops. That's fine. I guess we'll take what we can get. So, scholarships in on those guys. Let's head to the overview to see who we really need to do some work on. We're kind of stuck in with where we're at for molds. Really worried about that visit. he's got with, like I said, I think that's USF. Nothing else I can do on Ron Shabazz, unfortunately. I really thought we were going to be fine on Shabazz, but not the case. The kicker and Chestnut, the punter and the kicker and Cox, actually both kickers, we're in good shape on. Don't really need to do anything else. Can't do anything else on Kevin Clapp. Probably going to lose him to MSU. Shaim Westbrook, a defensive tackle, which is just a big need for us. We got 50 hours left. You know what? Send it. Send in the house on a 3-star. Ron Molds, right tackle, has committed to CMU. Imagine we'd have a couple recruits kind of rolling in right now. And we do. The kicker, Brandon Chestnut, also signs on. So options at kicker, a little bit unlimited. We lose to Ball State by a touchdown. Whatever it is, just nothing happening right these last couple seasons for CMU. We're 3-7. We're actually not going to make a bowl game. That's unfortunate. We got Kent State and Eastern Michigan up next. Kent State at 5-5. Eastern at 1-9. 0-6 in MAC play. Let's just finish strong, I guess. I guess we could win 5 games and still somehow get a berth, but it just isn't going to be automatic. Unless, I don't know if the game works like that. We've actually had a little bit open up here on Ron Shabazz. That's interesting. So we're actually going to have 20 hours to spend on Shabazz. We're going to have one last-ditch effort to get past Michigan State. So it's going to have to be a soft sell. And the only problem is, guess what? We're locked out of the 3 things he's mainly interested in. However, we could focus on just things that CMU does well. I know these are 2 non-interests, but they're big, strong points for us. Let's give it a crack on Ron Shabazz. Pat Denson already committed. Cox were good. Choice were good. Kozar, the 2-star. We really shouldn't have to do anything else. We're in a top 3 with Clemson and Florida, but I really don't anticipate them offering him. We've already done what we can. Tubbs, all set. Locked solidly in the top 5, only offer. Same with Ferraro. We can't do any more on Clapp. We are very likely losing him to MSU, and there's not a damn thing we can do about it. Westbrook, we're in good shape. We lost out on Romeo Boone to Minnesota. Okay. And Miles Long to Toledo. Well, if we can finish with this type of recruiting class... Wait, this 2-star left tackle's got an offer from Purdue. What? Well, we can't let that happen. Let's just max out our hours straight away on Carlos Body. Chad Kuti. We've got 30 hours on him. Or 30 hours to spend at least this week. Let's get up to 30, and that'll be our recruiting for the week. Before we get out of here, what about Fajardo here? We got an offer from Bowling Green, but we lead currently. Well, 1 game left to go in our season. All of a sudden, our defense is up to an 84 overall, which is really surprising to me. We wrap it up against Eastern Michigan, who's 1-10. They haven't won a MAC game. We're at least shaping up really well to go 5-3 in the conference. At least have a winning record in MAC play. Which we've done in every year, but still, I mean, it wasn't looking very good for a long time here. 5-point win over Kent State. Oh, the last-ditch effort on Shabazz didn't work. He goes to Michigan State, like everyone else. So now we're down to 17 targets. I mean, which isn't bad. I guess it depends on what we're losing. Now, are there any late ones in here? I would imagine every 5-star prospect is already off the board, and they are. Not like we would have had a chance anyway. There is a 4-star tight end sitting here, but of all the positions it could possibly be, tight end is not what we need. We're just getting through the sophomore season of Enrique Beckham. We're locked out on all of these guys. This another tight end. We got a 4-star athlete chilling here in Jose Ortega. Okay. That's interesting. That's a running back. Or at least that's what it's shaping up for him to be. We add him to the board. Is anyone open? Any other 4-stars just open? I mean, yes, but not with us. Alright, so no on the 4-stars. Now into the 3s. It still says we need a right outside linebacker, or just an outside linebacker in general. Junior college junior. Ah, fuck it, let's add him. And Nicholas Bakhtiari, but that's another running back. Rather focus my time and efforts on that 4-star athlete. Right defensive end. I think we'd have a shot here at Darius Jefferson. That's a kicker. That's a tight end. That's a punter. Got a wide receiver in here. Wayne Groves, but that's not listed as a need anymore. Right guard. Dion Pepper. A safety in Devontae Choice. Well, let's get in on that. Another right guard. Another athlete. That's another running back, though. Defensive tackle Dennis Wooden. We'll add him to the board and then probably call it good on recruits that we are potentially going to target. Scholarships offered to all of these guys. And then now we try and go to work. 100 hours to go here. So we've already got one kicker. Truth be told, we should probably just get Tony Cox off the board, but you never know. It's good to have options. The punter in choice. We could throw a little bit of something at him. The only problem is we don't have anything small to do so. And we're in good shape when it comes to the punter anyway. Kozar, we're set. Kevin Clapp to Michigan State. Uh-oh. Well, this is about all we're going to be able to try and do. I'm sorry, is there not a single thing that hits both of those interests? There is, but also academic prestige. To be honest, I'd rather... I don't know. It didn't work out very well the last time we tried it. So we're just going to go for this with the question mark when it comes to the interest. I'm going to go campus personality. Carlos Body, we lead over Purdue by a good margin. Can't do anything else. Kuti has interest from Eastern Michigan, but nothing else right now. Fajardo we lead, but we haven't done anything on Fajardo. Oh, that was the 2-star. Right. 4-star athlete. This is where we need to be spending our points. 60 hours to spend. We need to get in that cutoff. 4-star athlete, especially at the running back position, could be so massive for us. So we'll do that and be able to max out Ortega the next time we come into recruiting. Punter Carl Choice commits to CMU. 3 stars. We got a couple of punter options right now. With Alex Potts hopefully settling into that starting role. Hopefully he's grown enough. We'll see what Choice turns out to be. And we also get the 3-star running back in Shannon Kozar. So we get that 4-star athlete and the 3-star running back in Kozar. We're going to be in some good shape here. So That is our first MAC Defensive Player of the Week all season. Christian Algero, the junior linebacker, 6 solo tackles in what you would hope is a win to end our regular season, end our season entirely. But if you remember from year 2, every single time we had a guy win MAC Defensive Player of the Week, we lost. All right, well, at least that curse is over. We do indeed beat Eastern at the end of the season to win a trophy. I actually just realized we didn't have a matchup with Western this year. Very interesting. But a 23-17 win to end year 3. Tubbs is looking good. Ferraro's looking good. Westbrook is looking good. It was Matthew... I'm going to just say Castle. We finally do lose a recruit to Michigan. It only took until the end of the season here. So he's off the board. Carlos Body, we've got a healthy lead over Purdue. Chad Cote. Ooh. Ortega. We do lead. It's just not by much. That's going to be a big problem because I don't think that 5 hours is going to sway him, especially with an offer from Texas A&M. Something tells me we're absolutely boned when it comes to that, but it was worth a try. And we at least do have a 3-star recruit if we can't hit on a 4-star. Now, we didn't do anything on any of the rest of these guys, so what I'm going to try and do is just jump to the top of their board right away. At least on some of them. We got an offer from Arizona for Darius Jefferson, probably just out of desperation. And now 25 hours left. Nothing but 3 stars here. I'd rather go after the defensive tackle in Dennis Wooden. Just do this, and that'll have to do it this week for recruiting. Jesus Ferraro is on board. That's good. Wide receiver. Position of need. Sweet. Not really worried about the 2-star right guard. If we lose out on him, we lose out. Ooh, we got a pretty sizable lead over Texas A&M. Only problem when it comes to Ortega is that there's just nothing else we can do, so we just have to hope that Texas A&M just doesn't have the assets to spend on him and they don't make any more progress. Now, the bad news is that we did all that work on Darius Jefferson and no real progress was made. We're going to have to go after this 3-star right guard in Mebane? Jabu Mebane, maybe? And just spend our hours that way. We just have so few right now. Carlos Body, 2-star left tackle, is on board with the Chippewas. Every team needs their 2 stars, I guess. Oh, wow! This is the first time here in this dynasty that I've seen a non-quarterback win the Heisman. Antonio Williams, senior wide receiver out of Clemson, 87 catches, 1,200 yards, 22 touchdowns. Whole bunch of changes. This is the busiest I've seen the coaching carousel at this point of the dynasty. Northwestern clears house just a little bit. Iowa fires everybody. And so does Eastern Michigan. A couple of openings at Ole Miss. Pitt's looking for a new OC. Now, it's only a little concerning that we didn't get anything going on National Signing Day. However, Tony Cox, that other kicker, is going to probably sign right after this. I don't know why he's so close. I don't know why he just didn't do it. Chad Cote was that 2-star athlete. We still lead on Ortega. Texas A&M didn't do any more. Now, there's still some time for them to pass us, but right now it's looking really good. And there it is. Tony Cox, we did kind of figure was going to commit. He was just so close. I don't know why he didn't just do it on early signing day. But here he is. We have 2 kickers in the recruiting class. David Tubbs, 3-star wide receiver, also signs on. Chad Cote, yet another running back commit on board with Central Michigan, but a 2-star running back. We have our sights set on a much bigger player right now in that 4-star athlete. Players leaving. This is going to be very interesting. Oh, boy. So we have a high chance to keep Robert Hurt, which was one of our year 1 recruits. We haven't had a lot of success in encouraging players to stay. And that is looking to continue because the only one with a high persuasion chance has said, no, we better hope that some of these guys decide to stay. And Jake Davies does. Now, I don't know if that's really necessary. Earl Langford. What do we got here? Redshirt sophomore. Yeah, I'd like to keep him around if possible. And he does stay as well. So at least something's changing a little bit. Redshirt junior. Cornerback Lorenzo Williams. I know he's only 74 overall, but he could grow. I'd like to keep him. That will not be possible. Xavier White, junior linebacker, 77 overall. Oh, well, that worked too. So we've at least convinced 3 of these players to stay. We're only losing 2 right now. Quincy Cumberland, redshirt sophomore. So that... No, that wouldn't have been one of our recruits, would it? No, yeah, it would. It would have been. 81 overall. Well, we hit on that. Playing style is not good. Chance to persuade, very low. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to work. So, we lose 3, but we keep 3. Could have been a lot worse. It was worse last year. We are still first on Jose Ortega, man. I can't imagine that working. I just can't. To the transfer portal. DJ Lagway. We're familiar with him. When did Julian Sand become a 3-star? So there's no quarterbacks we can try and bring in. Actually, wait, no, that was just recommended. Just take a gander. Oh, wait, no, that was all of them. Running backs I'm not super worried about, which is good, because we can't bring any of those in. I think we better just focus on recommended so we don't just sit here and scroll through a whole bunch of guys that we can't have. It still says running back is in need, but leading on Ortega, I don't want to be too aggressive. Junior transfer Cameron Casey from Wisconsin. Be competing... Well, the competition would be fairly low. The only problem is he'd probably just leave after 1 year anyway. Receivers, I don't even think this is really even necessary. Let's scroll down here just to see if there's anything we can do. We don't have a chance on a lot of these guys. We do have a chance... Oh, it's a 1-star left guard. Yeah, I don't think we need to mess around with that. Now, there is a 3-star defensive end, Austin Proctor, looking to transfer out of UMass. Let's add him to the board. That sounds like an encouraging scenario. I'm sorry. Timon Klutz. Now, that would have been a name to add to this dynasty, that's for sure. Don't tell me this is... Oh, thank God. It's James Rogan, not Joe Rogan. I got really concerned there for a second. We're just locked out on a lot of these portal guys. Just have no chance on them. Never even got a chance. So it looks like we're... I mean, there's only 4 guys that we can even try and bring in. So, you know what? We are going to add Cameron Casey. Especially the fact that he is already a junior. Not sure if that'd make him a senior. I would imagine it would. We might have him for a season, but if we can land Ortega, and he needs a little bit, Cameron Casey could hold the load for a year. So he's on the board. So let's go and offer a scholarship to both of our transfer portal targets. There were only 4 possible. And with all these hours to spend, I think we can just max them out and just hope for the best, essentially. I'm good with it. So we'll do that, and then the rest of these points, rest of these hours, can go into maybe some guys that we otherwise wouldn't have tried to do. Wouldn't have tried to spend the hours on. Westbrook, we're so close to getting a commit. We haven't even done anything on him. We probably don't need to do too much, so we'll conserve a little bit of hours there. 2-star right guard. We're actually behind Bowling Green. We haven't done anything here on Fajardo. So I know it's only a 2-star, but I don't really want to lose him to another max school, so we're really sending the house there. Oh man, it completely opens up again when it comes to Ortega. That is totally going to be worth it, even if we lose out on some others. A little conservative action here. Darius Jefferson. Where are we at? We're behind Arizona. This is another player I would really like to have. And unless they're sending the house at him like this here in this stage, we might just jump to the top of the board and we might even get him to sign on. 215 hours left to go. There's some interest in an offer from Pitt on Mebane here. I'm totally good, especially with only 23 targets, of just using these hours to just max out these guys that are still undecided. Now, this is probably a losing battle. Let's wait on choice. Wooden doesn't even have an offer from Oklahoma. I'm not really worried about losing him. We've got our 2 transfer portal targets set. 150 out. I think we're going to be able to do this on both of these guys. We're doing what we can to try and field the best possible team here for year 4. We've still got some leftover hours. I mean, we were so close on this guy that he's probably going to get there anyway, but that might be the only other player that we can spend points on. Now, they're going to be better suited on the other guy. Westbrook is so close to a commit that I think we're going to land him here. And then that's everybody, so we'll go to Gideon Nduke here. He's only just getting to his top 3 type stage, so... But we might be able to get him to commit here. Let's give it a go with that. 5 hours. I don't even know if there's anywhere we can put him. And I'm not really worried about doing that. On Westbrook, actually. You know what? Sure. We'll use them all. Well, hopefully with the commitment of Shaim Westbrook, our defensive tackle struggles will go away for a little bit. Hopefully. That's good. Only 1 commit. That's a little bit of a problem. Oh, we still lost out on a couple of those guys. The one to Bowling Green and Arizona. Really, I thought we would have done enough there. So Darius Jefferson was that 3-star defensive end. He's gone to Arizona. Fajardo goes to Bowling Green. I really tried to do what I could. We're still leading quite big when it comes to Ortega, but he's actually visiting Texas A&M's campus. That's not good, but we're in the top 3 with Texas A&M and Tulsa. And oddly enough, we do lead right now. Gideon Naduke, that 3-star right outside linebacker, we're the only offer he has, but his top 3 is ourselves, lowly Central Michigan University, along with Alabama and Georgia. What? I mean, we got 170 hours. There's not going to be a lot of space that we can put this in. So we're just going to try and soft sell them and hit those interests. I know they're not great grades, but give that a go. These guys are all maxed out. We don't have anything else left to spend hours on. Unless there's just some prospects. But I think these are all portal guys now. Wade Meeks, high school player. Got an offer from Pitt. Wait, this is a 4-star? Yo, wait a minute. Well, we're going to offer him a scholarship. We can't schedule a visit because we're past that point. But we're going to do what we can. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're getting in here real late. On Wade Meeks. Still 80 hours left to go. Is there anybody on the prospect list? Punter. No positions of need, it doesn't seem. So to be honest, I feel like we'd be better suited just not doing anything with that. I did not give ourselves much of a chance at signing Jose Ortega, but here we fucking are. 4-star athlete, listed now as a running back. That was where we were always going to put him. We got high hopes for Ortega. We now have 2 4-stars on the offense at skill positions, tight end, if you call tight end a skill position, and running back. Things are looking up. I really didn't think we were going to have a chance going after this guy from Texas A&M, but here we are. We also land Gideon Naduke. I think I've been mispronouncing the name the whole time. 3-star outside linebacker. We got 275 hours left. Meeks goes to Pitt, so we can forget about that. We lead on Casey. We lead on Proctor. Those were our 2 transfer portal targets. Lead on Wooden. Lead on Choice. Lead on Mebane. So what we're going to do is go back to the prospect list and maybe hit up any possible... these are 2 stars and 3 stars. We got a... Esteban Incognito. Is the game trying to tell me something with that name? Add him to the board. We are all set at running back now. We're going to have Casey and Ortega carrying the load, hopefully, for the foreseeable future. Could add in a fullback, just because we haven't really messed with that too much. There's some 3-star fullbacks that never really got any interest. I like the utility fullbacks. Theo Faulkner, Sidney Bridges, Wade Benedict, Joe Delaney, Parker Witherspoon, Kenya Combs, Dylan Flowers. Oh, wait, we need the utility guys. If this guy Alan Sims isn't fast at 5'10", 167, what are you even doing here? I'm going to add an Alabama wide receiver to our board. Any stray defensive tackles? Not like we really need them. Got a guy from Indiana. Mitchell Haas, Pennsylvania. I feel like we might have a shot at that. Defensive end, just to give ourselves some options. Carlos Little. We've already targeted Proctor. So we just added 6 more players to our board. We're going to be the only offer in on, I believe, any of these guys. Because we didn't really offer anybody crazy. Or we didn't really target anyone crazy. I wanted to kind of scout incognito. But I don't think we're gonna, at least not yet. It seems a little insane to go after a 2-star quarterback this hard, but I just have a good feeling. And we're also going to go after the fullback in a similar manner. Spend all the points we can on him straight away. And then on all of these guys, let's see. Sims, Haas, Little, and Carradine. Nobody has offered them, so not really entirely worried about losing them here in the next week. So we'll do that. We still have 50 hours to spend on somebody, so we're going to go into Mitchell, Haas, send the house. That'll be our recruiting week done. Austin Proctor, 3-star defensive end from Massachusetts, has committed to CMU. We also get Cameron Casey, so both transfer portal targets have signed on. So Casey might just be kind of a 1-year placeholder if Ortega's just not there yet, if he starts out at a low overall. But if we can just get that one season out of Casey, we're in good shape. So it was Carlos Little, whose top 8 we didn't make. Also Jason Carradine. So oddly enough, a couple of those guys that we just didn't have the points to do anything with at the time. All we can do is spend these last 15 points on Mitchell Haas. I doubt going to the prospect list is going to do anything for us. At this point, everyone's probably got to be in there. I don't think anyone's in the open stage anymore. Surprisingly, there are some. Dude, is this like our 3rd straight day with a view bot? Holy shit. Ezekiel Longo. We'll add him to the board as well. So scholarships, and then we'll still have points to go after these guys very aggressively. We'll have 5 points remaining on at the end of this week, but I really just don't think that there's anything else we need to do. Should probably, I would imagine, after that, being the only offer that these guys get, and then adding in that many points. Woodhead and Longo are probably sure things, you would assume. Jamu Mebane, 3-star right guard, here right before National Signing Day, is on board. Dennis Wooden, 3-star defensive tackle. Quarterback Esteban Incognito, interested to see what he does, but it's interesting to have a field general on this team, the only one we have. Wade Benedict, the 3-star fullback, is on board with CMU. 3-star wide receiver Alan Sims. 3-star defensive tackle Mitchell Haas. Commitments continue to roll in. 3-star safety Javier Woodhead. And that does it. So one final look at the recruiting screen. We're going to have a class coming in of 26 guys, including a couple transfers in Proctor and Casey. We missed out on Longo somehow. Apparently, whatever we tried to do there at the very end didn't do a damn thing. Training results. This is going to be big for CMU. And this is the best team right now that we have fielded so far in this dynasty. The defense is up to 85. The offense remains at 81, but I think we got some good pieces. Jalen Kegler moves up to a 74, actually surpasses Jaden Glassler. Tyler Jefferson does appear to be the obvious incumbent starter, unless we really want to force the issue with Kegler. Still don't have those recruits come in yet. So let's head into the roster and see what we got going on here. Esteban Incognito. I tried. Normal development trait. It is what it is. Emergency quarterback, essentially. Ortega starts out at a 72 with 91 speed. Okay. It's actually, Cameron Casey was not the kind of player I thought he was going to be, but I guess what do you expect for 3 stars? 78 overall, just slightly below redshirt junior Brock Townsend. And Jacavian Caleb, also going to probably fight for a little bit of playing time. Benedict actually jumps up over Pierre Bridges right away. 3 fullbacks on the roster. And Wade Benedict, the very late addition to our board, is actually star development. Okay. Well, that's a dub. How about the freshman receivers? Alan Sims, David Tubbs, and Jesus Ferraro. They all have really low starting overalls. Sims is impact development. Tubbs is normal. Which leads me to believe that this one here at the very bottom, Jesus Ferraro, is also... No! He is star development! That's big. Alright. Well, we got a couple hits already very early on checking out our recruiting class. Only 3 tight ends on the roster. There's only 1 freshman, and that's McGinnis. Normal development. Meh. Sucks a little bit. Carlos Botti. He was the 2-star. Impact. All right. Well, that helps out a little bit. Left guard. Only a senior. No freshman there. We got 2 freshman right guards. Ham is, hey, star development. That's our 3rd star already. And then Mebane, impact. Hey, anything's better than normal. Right tackle, we only have 1 freshman, Ron Molds. He's impact as well. I think we did a pretty good job, seemingly, on recruiting. Wait, we didn't get any defensive ends? How did that happen? Well, we got 3 defensive tackles. Westbrook, he's impact. Mitchell Haas, normal. What do you expect from a Haas? Dennis Wooden, also normal. So, a couple misses on the defensive tackle position. But Westbrook, hopefully, will be a guy. Already starts out at 69 overall. And he's got a little bit of a buffer. We do have some redshirt freshmen in McCauley and Sledge in front of him. A couple of redshirt freshmen there. Bullocks and others. Pat Denson, one of the linebackers. Impact. All right. Sweet. No true freshman corners. Couple of true freshmen free safeties. Javier Woodhead starts out fairly high in overall, at least for what we're going after. Impact development. And what about the other one? Devontae Choice. He's normal. Strong safety didn't add anybody in. We added 2 new kickers. Tony Cox is star development. Okay, what about Brandon Chestnut? Chestnut's only normal, so I think we know which kicker we're building around. Tony Cox is only just below Costanzo and Ayu as is. Costanzo was normal development. Ayu may have been impact. He was. So we now have a star development kicker in Tony Cox. Good news. And our final freshman to take a look at is Carl Choice, who is impact development at punter and already 71 overall. Only slightly behind redshirt sophomore Alex Potts and sophomore Jeremiah Lick.